SVV are for, take note of V service. So if you want to know, identify open ports, so that is the option. U is for UDP. There's something wrong here. This should be UDP. Okay, it's a UDP scan. Um, there's an example on the Cengage for that. L is, it will list the targets that are to be scanned. And then A is, if you want to find out if a host is protected by a firewall, uh, there's that option A that you may use under Nmap. To identify a port range, you may use -P. Okay, so um, for example, like this one, so the range of the port is 80 and 443. If you want to only specify ports to scan, so you use the -P option. Okay. Um, if there is no minus, if example like in this case, -P dash, so what happens here is that it will scan all TCP ports. So these are in here. If you want to scan those UDP ports, you have to add the U. Okay, U option. If you remember in Cisco, we were taught that there are services that uses UDP, example TFTP, okay? And then most are using TCP, SMTP, diba? FTP, HTTP, HTTPS, it uses TCP, okay? There. And also, Nmap can scan IPv6. It again recognizes IPv6. To add IPv6, it's -6, that's -6, that's the option. And then the IPv6 address. If you want to exclude certain hosts in the scanning, you may add this. Example, you want to conduct a scan on this network, and you want to exclude this IP here. Maybe because that IP is a third-party software. Okay, it's a example. It's a SCADA, and it's a third-party system, meaning you're not allowed to touch it. Okay, so there, if you want to exclude, or you're not even allowed to scan that device. So if you are to exclude, this is the option, dash exclude, and then the IP add. And then for you to enable OS detection, the option is CO. And then to enable OS detection, also service detection, script scanning and trace route, the option is A. And then discovery scan. Discovery scan is used to find live IP addresses on a network for the purpose of revealing potential targets. Traditionally, a discovery scan is known as ping sweep. It sends an ICMP echo request. It pings all the devices that are there, and expected they are to reply in the standard. So once the um, say the pen tester, the device that the pen tester is using, or the scanning tool, discovery scanning tool, receives this reply, that is an indication that these hosts are live or active. So, so that's the way this discovery scan works. Again, it uses ICMP. Okay, so Nmap has a facility for discovery scans. I have series of options here under discovery scans, like PR. PR, what it will do, okay, in the PR option is what it will do, it uses ARP. Okay, it uses ARP. If you remember the ARP, right? Computer will send an ARP request. Example, let's say it will ARP this 192.168.1.50 to know for the Nmap to know if this is alive. So Nmap will say, hey, 192.168.1.50, can I have your MAC? So that device will have a reply. That is an indication that uh, that is a lie, because this device, the target device, is replying in the ARP request. Okay, Yun, good thing daw kasi with the ARP, it is not blocked by firewalls. So in case like the ping, usually firewalls what it blocks are IP port numbers. So you cannot like have ping sweep or send ICMP echo request if firewalls is blocking it. So you may conduct discovery scans using this option -PR. You can conduct default discovery scans by sending an ARP requests. Another option under the discovery scan is SN. In SN, there's no port scan. It discovers using a combination of the ICMP request, okay, TCP SYN to say port 443, TCP ACK, acknowledgement to port 80, and ICMP timestamp request. Another is you may also discover hosts by sending synchronization to specified ports. Okay, usually on default for TCP, kasi again take note if it's TCP, there should be specific service. So what port it's using, okay, is port 80. Port 80. So any response with the SYN acknowledgement or that indicates that the target is up, okay, so is acceptable in the Nmap. Okay, so again, for under TCP SYN, the option is -PS. Port scanning is the process of determining which TCP and UDP ports the target is listening on. Okay, so in the discovery, again, a discovery just not for you not to be confused. In the discovery scan, it identifies if an IP ad is live or not. So let's say once, say example, it identifies a 192.168.5.10 is live because it receives this ARP or the TCP SYN or the ICMP or the ping sweep ICMP echo request. There's a reply. Next question is, what are those ports that are open in that device? What are those services that are open or active in that device? That's the next information that needs to be gathered. And this may be possible by conducting a port scanning. This is the process again of determining the TCP UDP ports the target is listening on. It is the first step in enumerating services that are running on the target. It can use number of techniques, but the straightforward is to simply make a connection on the service. Okay, like for example, let's say to identify if HTTP is open, then it will send a request for a page. Okay, to identify if the HTTP is open or not. Um, okay, there. So usually scan results provide information about the computer, even the operating system, and again available services based on the open ports. Most port scanners allow you to choose which port you wish to scan, and the results of the port scan can give insights into the type of computers you are connecting to, including its operating system and available services. Some ports are specific to a particular system. For example, this 135, it's for Microsoft operating Windows operating system to be exact. Okay, very important for those students who will take the Security Plus certification exam. You memorize those well-known ports. It will be covered in your InfoSec 2. Okay, those ports that you need to know memorized in preparation for the Security Plus certification exam. But in here, I have a list of the different port numbers, like 20 and 21 for FTP. 22 is SH, 23 is Telnet, the email protocol SMTP is 25, DNS is 53. Also, by the way, very important also to identify if a specific service uses TCP and UDP, like DNS is using both TCP and UDP. Okay, all of these that are here at above are using TCP. HTTP is also using TCP at port 80. Kerberos is port 88. POP3, which is email, is 110. And .next port mapper is 111. RPC is 135 SMB, which is a legacy. It's a shared service, shared protocol, server message block. It's using 139. And then I have another list here for the ports that you need to take note. Again, you need to memorize this for the Security Plus certification exam. Okay. Example, like I have an output here of nmap of, and then the target IP ad of the device, and then it lists down those ports, which again defines a specific service, and it also declared if it is using TCP or UDP. Okay, if it is using TCP or UDP, and the status if it is open. Okay, and then the also in the nmap it categorize the service of that specific port. And then during a penetration test, testers may wish to configure their scans to run as stealth scans, which go to great lengths to avoid using tests that might attract attention. This is especially true if the organization's cybersecurity team is not aware that a penetration test is underway. Service disruptions, error messages, and log entries caused by scans may attract attention from the cybersecurity team that causes them to adjust defenses in a manner that obstructs the penetration tests. This is what is being resolved by the stealth scan. So using stealth scans, it better approximates the activity of a skilled attacker, resulting in a more realistic penetration tests. Okay, so and then we mentioned before that again in a stealth scan, usually these types of scans under, let's say, nmap is not being detected, let's say, but by an IDS, intrusion detection system, although nowadays there are IDS system that can detect stealth scans. Okay, so I have here some options of under stealth scan. Example, if I have nmap minus SS, small letter S and capital letter S, and then the target. So this is a stealth scan that sends a TCP scene. I mentioned this a while ago. Okay, it doesn't go into the data transfer. Just wants to identify if it can establish a connection to the target. Okay, by waiting for the response of the scene, which is a scene act, or if it is under termination, it is waiting for a reset, RST. Next, SA. Okay, in the SA, what the nmap will send is a TCP acknowledgement. Usually, it is used to map out firewall rule sets, okay, or to determine which ports are being filtered. Next is SN option, and then let's say the target. Again, this means this is a range, right? So what is being scanned by the nmap is from 192.168.1.2 up to 192.168.1.10. In here, it sends a segment, a part of the data, if you remember. That's how we define segment in Cisco. Okay, so this is usually not the normal state for TCP, and has at least one flag raised. Then the next option is SF. It sends a TCP FIN. This is under the termination. If you remember in TCP, it first establishes a connection and then data transfer and then terminates, if you remember. So the first part in the termination is FIN. It also still uses three-way handshake. So like in the establishment of the connection, there's the SYN. In the termination, there's the FIN. Okay, and then SX. In the SX option, it also sends a TCP segment with a FIN or PSH or URG flag. Okay, so these are some of the options we have under stealth scans.